contaminated with toxic and hard chemicals that penetrate our bodies. Water wells are so interconnected that contamination in New York easily reaches California, so no one is really safe. If you want to test this yourself, fill a glass with tap water. Let it rest for a day. You'll notice a grayish residue coating the inside of the glass. These are the exact types of toxins that get inside your bloodstream and coat the outside of the pineal gland, causing its blockage. And it doesn't stop there either, because the pineal gland is linked to every other gland in your body through a network of neurological pathways. When it becomes calcified, it stops the free movement of pineal fluid, affecting not just the gland itself, but also the interconnected organs. You might be familiar with the concept of chakra points, energy centers in the body. The pineal gland plays a crucial role in this system. Calcification causes an imbalance of these chakras, leading to serious health issues. This includes thyroid imbalances, kidney problems, low sperm count, and even grave diseases like Alzheimer's. And if you experience symptoms like sleep disturbances, difficulty manifesting, low energy, unexplained weight gain, or depression, then know that your brain and organs are fighting every day to keep themselves working. I hate to say it, but a calcified pineal gland not only messes with your ability to manifest, but it's like a ticking time bomb waiting to explode unless you do something about it. Now, NASA wasn't going to let fluoride ruin the lives of perfectly fit astronauts and risk the failure of their space missions. So they came up with a secret liquid drink to heal the calcification and gain an edge. It's believed this secret drink that heals the calcification of the pineal gland played a role in the success of the famous U.S. Apollo program, including the first manned moon orbit in 1968, Apollo 8, and the first moon landing in 1969, Apollo 11. Both of these missions happened during the time NASA was researching the pineal gland. Robert told me that when astronauts came back to Earth, they reported experiencing vivid and lucid dreams with their life flashing in front of them. Others mentioned going through out-of-body experiences, transcending physical boundaries and exploring new realms of consciousness. But perhaps the most compelling is the strengthening connection with the universe and an enhanced sixth sense. This got NASA scientists even more intrigued. So they conducted one more research about the pineal gland a year later in 1970. However, this research wasn't enough. NASA scientists wanted a bigger and larger scale experiment. Now, get this. In 2019, WikiLeaks, the platform for secret government documents, leaked a classified telegram exposing how the U.S. Department of State shipped frozen penguin pineal glands from Argentina to the U.S. in 1973. How crazy is that? Turns out NASA and the U.S. government were collaborating on a secret project called Pinealium after witnessing the powers of the pineal gland after the Apollo missions. NASA and the U.S. government wanted to understand how to access the mystical powers of the pineal gland and keep their edge. The U.S. Department of State chose penguins because nobody would say anything about classification and location. Penguins have the biggest pineal glands on Earth. Their decisions resemble humans a lot, so they are the closest thing to us to study. It would be more difficult to get away with decapitating over 250,000 penguins throughout the research if they were pigeons or doves. Now, here's what happened next. Just in a year later, in 1974, NASA introduced an anti-fluoride solution for dental care called hydroxyapatite. Since the space missions in the 60s and 70s took a toll on NASA's budget, they sold the rights to sell this chemical formula to a Japanese company to replenish much of their budget they spent on the latest research. What most people don't know is that NASA came up with another 100% natural and classified formula to decalcify the pineal gland, which they kept hidden and was only available for their personnel. Most astronauts in the 1970s were still under military duty, so the secret solution was leaked to their military friends. Slowly, military generals, CIA and FBI agents, politicians, and high-ranking elites started using this secret drink to cleanse their bodies from fluoride and unlock their third eye. Some used their newly found brain powers to gain control and money. Others were able to reverse diseases and aging. Government agencies like the CIA and FBI used it for their psychic spying missions. You'd guess they'd share this knowledge with the public, right? Well, not exactly. They can't just go out and say, "Oh, sorry, we added fluoride everywhere to mess with your brain and block your ability to manifest." The people would go berserk. No wonder leaked classified documents about the penguin pineal gland shipments were never meant to see the light of day. And it's no surprise why NASA still keeps the details of their research on the pineal gland private. I started to feel angry hearing what Robert was telling me. How could NASA and the government do something like this? This is insane. He told me that NASA is really funded by private companies. They collaborate on a lot of projects with the billionaires and millionaires of the world. It's really about greed and control, my friend, Robert chuckled. If you look at who benefits the most from this sort of stuff, you'd find big pharma, drug companies, and governments at the top of the list. They benefit from having a docile society that functions like zombies. That way, they can keep selling us more drugs and toxic chemicals. If you've noticed, they always tend to create problems and sell temporary solutions for profits. The most recent example is the vaccine developed for the global pandemic. Pfizer alone made $37.8 billion selling vaccines in 2022. Do you really think they want us to know that we have a powerful organ inside our brain that once activated can unlock internal healing and inner powers? Do you really think they want you to be able to access psychic powers, attract wealth, and be in control of your own destiny? Absolutely not. No wonder big pharma and dental companies who sell fluoride-filled toothpaste make hundreds of billions each year off the backs of innocent Americans like you and me. This is nothing new, since if you look at history during the 40s, the same period when fluoride was researched and introduced, scientists were highly corrupted. Didn't the government intentionally inject hundreds of women, soldiers, prisoners, and mental patients with sexually transmitted diseases like syphilis between 1946 and 48 without their knowledge or consent? Weren't doctors and scientists taking bribes saying that smoking is good for your health? They were, and still, doing all kinds of shady stuff. All they care about is power, money, and control. I was mind blown by what I just heard from Robert. I asked him if he knew what was inside this secret NASA formula. He said the ingredients inside this formula are super rare and hard to find. He was able to acquire them a few months ago, opened his third eye, and was able to manifest money quickly. But now he's out of it. So I asked if I could assist him in reenacting it, given that I had access to one of the top laboratories in the country at the university, and that I have several connections thanks to my job. Surprisingly, Robert